right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Two Fat Guys Talking Flowers, where we're always gonna give you the good, the bad, the ugly about flowers. Joel, Ryan, myself, I'm the Fern, Mimi in the house, and our marvelous, remarkable, stupendous guests are none other than Jason Yannizze, Dan Reilly, Jet Fresh Flowers. Welcome, gentlemen, to your second first episode.
We're redoing it.
This is a redo, guys.
Guys, you know, I hope you know the second time is the one, because the third one is not going to happen.
Well, now that you said that, I can't use my first time, long time joke, but it's okay.
First time listener, long time watcher.
No, long time listener, first time caller. I can't use that now.
No. We did have an episode. It's part of Joel's marvelous series, The Lost Episodes. He did not physically lose this one, but it was heavily censored.
For those listening, my Dan and Jason work very, very closely together. Dan is our operations manager, and Jason is the warehouse manager. But these guys,
this is another dynamic.
Those are very
duel
vague
here.
terms,
right? I was gonna say, yeah.
But so Dan's name is mentioned in the company more than anybody else's. If you were to walk through Jet Fresh at any given moment, you're gonna hear Dan. Anybody see Dan? Anybody know where Dan's at? Dan, my computer's not working. Yeah. Dan, all day long.
Especially from Mike. Dan.
It's all day. But anywhere you go.
But then you also hear over the
radio is Jason. Jason all day. AD. He's our warehouse manager. He makes a whole lot happen in a very, very tiny, small space. Mm-hmm. So kudos to Jason and his crew and their organization and planning and everything that goes into what they make happen in the back.
I mean, these two guys are working like 4 or 5 different jobs at one time.
Yeah.
I did, by the way.
Hi, Jason. Feel free to chime in.
Wanted to say hi. Everybody had their little introductions. This is mine. But I just wanted to start off by saying that I'm not where I am without Dan, without the guidance. And that's not just from work. That's with the friends. That's from hockey. Everything. I couldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for him and the guidance. But that's why I think we work so well together as a team.
So we're missing a big... we're missing one of the fat guys today.
No, you're not. You have a substitute fat guy.
We have a substitute fat guy today.
Mike
is taking not his first ever vacation, but definitely his first ever vacation in the months of March and April. He's on a Euro trip right now.
That's also his first time, I think, doing a Euro trip.
Yeah,
like
right?
That. Like a vacation. Yeah.
Well, and with Susan.
Yeah, normally he's out there. It's what farms am I going to visit?
Yeah.
Right. They might still visit a farm.
I'm confident he's having dinner with some clients. Yeah.
I'm about to say he's gonna work it in.
It's very Mikey doesn't know.
I'll tell you this: Mike isn't missing any of us, but man, he is missing Sid. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Well, and so this episode we asked Jason and Dan to come on because both of them have had some fun trips recently. Dan just came off of CAD.
All suited up. Where were you?
We were in Washington, D.C.
Nice.
Dan goes to
District
DC.
of Columbia.
Dan does D.C.
No, not Dan. I said Dan goes to D.C. You guys took it to another level.
Well, you need the triple Ds.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, now.
And Jason and Dan also just came back from another trip to
North Carolina.
To Raleigh.
Mm-hmm.
Raleigh. You gotta say it right.
Yeah,
Raleigh.
So let's work backwards. Tell us about that trip.
Well, hold on. Before we start talking the trips,
she's driving the car. Let her drive the car.
She's here on the clock, but I mean, the guys gotta tell us where they came from. They gotta tell us how they got in the industry.
So, since I'm the best storyteller, I'll start where it all began, which is Kendall, Florida. Was a young 19-year-old hockey player looking for possibly the NHL or possibly just for a friend. Who knew? But I was traveling from Broward County all the way to Miami because it was the closest rink that had a travel program for my age group.
So really, from Fort Lauderdale down to Miami?
Yeah, that's a problem down here. There's not enough hockey rinks.
For junior.
Is that why you were down there as
It
well?
was because of the age. So
Is it the Bulls? Whatever
Juniors.
it's called?
Toros.
Toros, yeah.
back then, you know, we're probably in the first or the 1B generation of hockey players down here in the state in general. And back then there wasn't, for the 19 and ups, there wasn't a whole lot of places to play. There was like 4 or 5 in state. I came down, I was 19. I actually had taken a job down here, and that's why I ended up there. And I was there working, and Jason was there playing at the time. And then I ended up playing the following year, which was my 20-year-old year, which is the last year that you're eligible to play at that level. So that was how we met. I was working there at the time. He was playing. I ended up playing, but when I went,
Who was
down
the better player?
We actually played on the same line, so you can't really compare.
Just like it's here, one complements the other. I might have had. There's a reason they call me ankle breaker. Okay, I can great moves, great hands, great speed. Can't finish.
There you go.
Dan was a fantastic scorer.
I will tell you that the funniest part of it is I met Jason. I hadn't even taken the job yet. I was there for my interview, and the guy had introduced me just to Jason in passing, and I was probably like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Or something.
I said the same thing about him. I was like, "Who the fuck's this guy?"
But I met him the day I interviewed. I didn't even meet him the day I started. So, and I came down here. I didn't know anybody. So, you know, those guys that were in the building were kind of the first people I knew down here because I didn't know anybody down when I came down.
Because your family was from Orlando, right?
Yeah, my family was in Orlando at the
So
time.
you just moved, you took a job down here, moved down here, and all the...
Yeah, 19.
All this for hockey.
Yeah, 19, yeah. So,
Wow.
So that was it. I was on my own, and I was living in Weston for the first month because one of my cousins was there. But after that, I was down there, and that's
Have you ever gone to the Publix in Weston? Good Lord.
It's like the Target in Pines.
Yeah.
It's got material.
It's loaded. Fully loaded. Fully
Okay.
stocked.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite moments too was in between finding apartments. There were times where Dan and I would be sitting in his car with, you know, those stand-up AC units, the ones that rotate, plugged into the what do you call it? The cigarette smoker, you know, the outlet in the car. And we'd be sitting in his car, you know, and that's where we'd sleep for like a day or two until we were looking for apartments, and that's where the bonding happens.
Oh shit! You guys are tight.
I didn't know that. You guys
I
lived
didn't know
together in
that.
a car.
I was-
I mean,
No, we
I
were,
had some rough summers. I was 19.
You're 19 and you
I
moved
was
down
19
away from
and
your
I-
family.
Yeah,
And I
nobody
moved
here.
to an environment that I didn't speak Spanish. You know, I've learned more working here, and in the 15 years I've been here, I've learned more Spanish than I did in the time I was in school. You know, and I was a little more focused with my paychecks on what I'd be doing that evening, you know, where we'd be going. And I put that as the priority over doing some things. So I had a couple rough summers, but that also refocused me as I got older. So it is what it is. But yeah, we had some nights where we'd sleep in the rink, or we had some nights where we'd crash in the car, but you know,
those are the best looking.
gotta
back
do
at
what
it.
you
Who
gotta
was
do.
the big spoon?
No,
I'm the lover. I'm the
you
lover.
tilt the chairs back. You like,
Look up at the stars
guys
to the
are so
sunroof,
Sunroof down.
talking about the future, and that's where we are now.
Do you know what those big balls of light are in the skies?
Fireflies. Fireflies.
Those aren't stars.
it was very Hakuna Matata of
bluish
us.
black thing.
Love
Who's
that.
T-Bone and who's
Exactly. So,
I mean,
fast forward a couple years. Let's go ahead, because since we're on that, I originally was asked to come down to Jet Fresh prior to where I was now, and I originally turned down the job. A couple months passed. I was working in a restaurant for the last 10 years. Dan was already here, and you know, my mother's every day, are you going to do something with your life? Or are you going to keep working at the restaurant for the rest of your life? And one Mother's Day,
What restaurant were you working at?
Almirada Fish Company, Bass Pro Shops. Represent. So Mike gave me a phone call. This was us prior to going to nationals as a coach, and Dan helped me become a coach, a referee. Hockey was my life at that point. But I was looking for something solid. I'm getting older. I need to, you know, I'm getting married. I'm going to be supporting a family. That's my future plans. I needed something that was a solid job. And they needed a driver during one Mother's Day rush. And I said, fuck it. Let me go try to do this for a living. And it turned into, I'm just going to work for Mother's Day and be done. I'm just going to work for 3 months and I'll be done. Oh, I heard the Christmas party's really fun here. I'm just going to work to the end of the year. Then I'm going to leave. And it never turned into that. And it ended up turning into better and better and better. I started learning more. I started noticing a change in myself, where in my old job, I'd work 3 days a week. You know, I'd call out maybe out of the 3 days too. My feet were killing me, barely working. But then I all of a sudden worked at this job, and I all of a sudden had a backbone, and I all of a sudden was able to work consistently. People relied on me. I learned very quickly that people that count on you, you want to be there for them. And I'm the kind of person that, if somebody's counting on me, I don't want to let them down. So it turned into driver to a backup, and the warehouse manager to the warehouse manager. And again, that's where, like the guidance of him came in. If it wasn't for Dan, I would never have learned to become a coach. If it wasn't for Dan, I never would have got my reffing certification. If it wasn't for Dan, I would never have gone to nationals. And now, if it wasn't for Dan,
so you went to nationals as
before,
a coach, as a coach together. Dan just came back. Dan's going to nationals right now.
Again,
2 weeks. Just got
So wait,
scheduled. Just
that's
got
a good
scheduled
question.
Like an hour ago.
You're going to nationals with Mike Jr.
Yeah.
And Mike Jr. was he a common friend for both of you?
So I knew Junior I left Kendall in 2010. I went to Pines. Junior was coaching there. We'd actually coached against each other that 2009-2010 season. So that's kind of how I met him. I was at Pines I was working there a couple days a week, or a couple nights a week, and I was running the hockey program. And I had asked Mike Jr. if there was anything open here. And this was like 2012. And I said, hey, you have anything? It was the summer of 2012. And I came and I was driving 3 days a week, alternating with Casey. I was here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Casey was here Tuesday, Thursday. That's when Ryan would come down on Mondays from FAU, and he would be in the warehouse. And so I was here.
How long ago was this?
2012.
2012. Okay, so I
almost 12
came.
years.
No, it was 2011.
I was going to say, I graduated in 2011.
2011.
I was going to say,
So-
because that was 3 years before I got here.
Yeah, it was 2011. So maybe even 2010. It was 2010, 2011. It was one of those 2 years. And I was looking for something on the side, and I came in. I drove a couple days a week, and then they asked me if I wanted to help the accounts receivable at the time, do some filing. So that became my Tuesdays. So then when Mike Jr. and as the company started to grow, obviously it was still in its infancy back then. When Junior was looking to take some stuff off his plate, I guess I naturally became the person to do some of that. So I guess I was the first shipping manager, if you want to call it that. It was a little different back then. But
we weren't shipping nowhere near as many boxes.
Well, it was different. We were in somebody else's warehouse. We didn't have our own trucks. So it was more like a bill maker and order distributor kind of thing, and that's what it was at the time. And it's nowhere near the volume that Jason has to do now. He's got much more on his plate than I had back then. And that's what I was doing. And then when Junior left to do his cop thing, I took over some of his responsibility. And as other people have left, my role has evolved into what it is today, which is I'm handling a little bit of everything,
Dan's got his hands in everything.
I like it that way. You got to be busy.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
busy is good. During the pandemic, not being around people, not interacting with everybody, I feel like made people sicker or not all themselves normally. Once I got back into around people, there's a difference. But like he just said, being busy is good. It's healthy. It's not okay to sit around and do nothing. Absolutely.
Keep it going. So now you guys are Batman, Superman.
Rock stars.
100%. Never deny that. You guys just went on a trip. It was the first trip you guys have taken, right? Business trip?
Not the first trip I've taken. I think it was Jason's first trip. It was so because it was his first, it's our first together. We went and visited a farm in North Carolina. So we went to Castle Hannon, North Carolina. We went with Tina. Tina has used to do some of the buying from them, and she does some sales with them, and so she has a good relationship with the three guys that run the farm. Jason's been doing some handling for them, so he's gotten to know them over the last 2 years that we've been doing that, and I'm kind of their go-to guy when it comes to Comet, and as they make those changes, and make it so our business together can grow. So the three of us went for, I guess, all in all, about 2 days to visit the farm and see the grounds.
And while we were there, the timing couldn't have been better for him up in Castle Hayne for Albert, because he had just recently lost his trucking company. And while we were there, walking around, maybe in like the second greenhouse they had, he didn't know how he was going to get his boxes down to Miami. Maybe 2 or 3 seconds went by before Dan said, "I know a guy." And immediately from that conversation, maybe 2 days later, they linked up and somehow link up. Sorry, every time I say that, I have to do the Jamaican thing. They were able to get a new company to help them do a backhaul back through Atlanta. And nice. It's already been a difference. And I spoke to him earlier today, actually, and he's super happy. And that's like this whole business, man, like relationships. Mm-hmm. And all because, like, whether we took the trip there or not, we're all working in the same company and the same business, and Dan was able to make a quick phone call and make something happen, and that was huge for him.
I think the freshers are real connectors. You know that? I mean, it comes from our leader. He does it a lot. He connects people, but they just see the opportunity, and I think that's really cool. Something in the company. We are obviously company focused, but really industry.
We're industry focused, right?
But it's life. You can't surpass a certain point if you're gonna do it yourself, or if you're not gonna involve others in some capacity. I mean, if all you did was have bad relationships, that's going to get around too, and people aren't going to want to work with you. And here we have an environment, whether it's through you guys in the marketing or through the salespeople and their conversations, or even through the shipping, that, we've got a foundation of a lot of positive relationships and friendships and all these things that will help us continue to grow and will help our friends and the industry grow. Because I think that's what we all want. Even our friendly competitors, that's what we want. We want everybody to help the industry grow. It's good for all of us.
I love that. But it's a big part of what we do. You guys hook him up with somebody he didn't know was trucking flowers down. You solved the problem for him, which would have been a problem for you because you wouldn't have had boxes to cross dock or any of that.
And not only did we solve a problem, but now we are getting the deliveries on a different day. So I spoke with him today, and it's going to be coming on a Thursday. And that's big for me because the space is tough with what we have here when it was originally coming. Now it's coming on an earlier day, more flexibility for days of service, truck, stuff like that. And like I said, I think it's going to be better.
Speaking about friends, I got to shout out a couple of people. So I want to give a huge shout out to a huge fatty fan, Belkis from Esprit. She loves us. She loves the podcast. She's an avid listener. It's really cool. Anytime somebody comes up to me and they're like, "Dude, I heard the podcast. Man, your podcast is so good. It's so great. Keep going." Like, that motivation is priceless. So Belkis, thank you for taking the time to let me know you listen and what you like. And, every time I hear it, man, these are people, I listened to a couple episodes on some people that I thought I knew. And then, you sit down and you hear the podcast and you hear the whole story, and everything is put in play, and you hear every little second that you can, and you get to hear a little more about people. So Belkis, thank you. Another shout out to my man, Danny Duso from Royal. He's an avid listener and a good friend. Want to give him a shout out. He's always connecting.
Danny, are you watching Bravo? I love Danny.
Love that guy. So shout out to those two. And we got something special today. I've been saving this for the right moment. This is a note I got from Andy. We've solved the whole "it's a hot dog sandwich" debate, but what about, is a hot dog a candy? So Andy has sent us in hot dog flavored candy canes.
Andy,
yum.
Gross.
Oh, delicious.
I'm glad everyone's smiling because they're
not called glizzy
enough.
canes.
There's enough. There's 6 of us. and 6 candy canes. Look at that.
Joe
Do we
Glizzy?
need, like ketchup or something?
No
Or mustard?
You might need scotch.
How about we like just get a piece from one?
Yeah, I don't want
You
to
can't
hold
share a
candy
candy cane.
Yeah, you break it.
Okay.
And you're
All right,
Okay.
all right. Hold on. We're all gonna try it at
This
once.
thing stinks.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
It
it's-
smells like
It
a
stinks.
Who gave you this? Who gave you this?
All right.
Andy from.
This is Andy. This
Wait.
is Andy from
Here, Joel.
Kennecott's.
I'm gonna throw up if not.
All right. All at once. Are you
Wait,
guys ready?
wait, I'm not ready.
You can break off a straight part.
Joel just gagged.
I am going to throw up.
You have to taste it. Come on. You ready?
No, I'm not having
All right. Cheers, everybody. Go.
God.
It just tastes like crap. It doesn't taste like anything.
Nope. Sorry, I can't do it. Sorry. Thanks, Andy. One bite, everybody knows
That's
the rules.
disgusting.
Oh, that was nasty. That was nasty.
Okay, I
It ta-
smelt it and I'm not gonna eat
Oh
it.
my god.
All right.
I need
Now-
more scotch.
Wait,
You're a
wait,
trooper. Now I know.
wait,
You're
Ryan
such a
likes it
trooper.
now.
No, I don't like it at all. I'm really just
Hold on.
trying to
Cheers.
figure
You
it
need
out.
more. We need more scotch.
Now I need something to drink.
I couldn't.
Fuck you, Andy.
Andy, that was absolutely
Disgusting.
fucking terrible. I think we can
Disgusting.
all agree that a hot dog is not a candy cane.
Ugh, it's starting to smell in here.
Save one for
We
Mike.
need to throw this out.
Yeah, no,
save
Mike
one.
will not eat
Yeah,
that.
we're gonna save one for Mike.
No,
We're
it's
gonna put this on
gross.
his desk.
Just tell me.
Oh. Don't tell him it's a hot dog candy cane.
There's got to be. Don't throw it out. We can give it to somebody around the office. Who can we trick?
Ew.
Who can we trick with that?
Give it to Edwin.
Everyone will eat it.
He won't even notice. He just eat
He won't
it.
even know.
right?
He'll just eat it. He'll be like, I need ketchup.
That was worse than the hot sauce competition.
The hot sauce was funnier.
I'm down to. We need a new challenge. We need a new challenge. Any fatties got any challenges that we should do out there?
The first person that can
Send
eat the
them
whole
in.
candy cane without vomiting.
You can email us at 2.
What if we do
Fat guys
the Waffle House challenge?
What, the 24-hour?
Yeah.
No, not that. I'll end up fighting somebody in the Waffle House.
No,
right,
That
so
place is
hold on.
every waffle you
Hold on.
eat, you lose an hour.
Hold on. Do we have a Waffle House story?
Jason
was
and
recent.
I,
This was
we
recent.
We went to Raleigh.
Castle
We went to
Inns.
Raleigh, and
This was in Castle
after
Inns.
we went to the Hurricanes and Panther game, and after the game, we decided to stop by one of the local establishments. So we stopped at the bar and we had a couple drinks. We're like, hey, listen, let's get something to eat. It's got to be like 2 a.m, and we go to the local Waffle House, which is walking distance from our hotel.
By the way, today's National Waffle Day.
Well,
Just
They're
saying.
better.
I
They're
like
better
waffles.
in Carolinas, though. Like,
Yeah, Waffle
let me tell you
Houses are
something.
different.
I don't care what anybody says. Waffle House slaps every time.
okay.
Every time. So we go to Waffle House and we place our order, and we're like 2 of 6. And all of a sudden, there's this kerfuffle going on behind us. And
What's a kerfuffle?
That's the word of the day.
yeah, it's a low key word for argument, I guess. So there's this lady and this guy. The guy is sitting at the bar, and I didn't hear the first half. Jason heard the first half, so he could tell you what was going on. But she didn't like that he was questioning the price to the waitress, and they started going back and forth and having it out, and things got really exciting and all hopped up, and then she went and sat across the restaurant while she waited for her to-go order, and she called the cops on the guy. And then
Oh, shit.
as the cops got there, well, they were still going at it because when she went to pay, they started going at it again all over the pricing. He wasn't sure. I guess he didn't think like tax existed or something. So they were going at it. And then as the cops arrived, she like tried to take off and like get away from the cops because she was all hopped
But
up.
she's the one who called the cops?
Yes, but she was all hopped up on something, and she didn't want the cop. The
Mountain
guy,
Dew.
the guy was like, "Hey, I'm gonna tell the cops to search your purse," and she didn't like that, so she tried to sneak away from the cops after she called them. And then Jason and I just decided to walk back to the hotel because it was like 3 a.m. We're
So, like,
okay.
as the cops
So
come
you guys
in.
never ate?
No,
we
we
ate.
ate.
Oh.
I sat there and
And
ate.
it was great.
You watched the whole kerfuffle.
But
What's
I
your Waffle
said-
House order?
Oh, All-Star.
What
Get that
is the
waffle.
All-Star? I don't eat at the Waffle House very often.
cheeseburger.
He got the cheeseburger.
Hell
All-Star
yeah.
always comes with
Waffle
the
House
waffle.
cheeseburger with hash
eggs,
browns.
bacon,
Interesting.
toast.
Cheeseburger with hash
Yeah.
browns.
I've heard that
sounds
place is like
delicious.
dangerous.
You've never
Yeah,
been?
it is.
Hold on.
There's fights
absolutely
that happen there on the
dangerous.
regular.
But hold on. You've never been to a Waffle House?
No, but I've always
never.
been next to one.
Never.
And I always look outside. the
Joel,
window.
it's a life experience thing. You need at any time.
No.
I'm not telling you need to go sober, but I'm telling you if you have a night out with a friend, friends, plural, whatever.
Do you like
Hit 'em.
potatoes?
Come on, man.
I like French fries.
They have the best hash browns in the world.
I know you're fit. I know you hit the gym. I know you. That's your lifestyle. I'm telling you, there's things in life that
get
you
a
have to
protein
do.
waffle.
There's things you have to do.
I
It's an
actually have another
experience.
good Waffle House story with Jason. It was back when,
That's
back
a-
when we were like 19 years old. We were at Waffle House coming back from Orlando. Everybody was there. The whole team was there. This was before I played, but they had just lost. So we go to Waffle House, and everybody's kind of down or whatever. And I don't know what we were talking about, but we all kind of start quoting the divorce scene in Wedding Crashers without actually thinking that we were a Waffle House. So we're yelling out things like white trash in the middle of Waffle
Oh
House.
my gosh.
And then people are just like kind of looking at us.
Is this the one in Fort Pierce?
No, this is one that was on the way back from Orlando. I don't remember where it was. It was so long ago. But yeah, so that was my other good Waffle House stories. We had the
So
entire
just so you
restaurant staring
just
at
so you
us.
know, there are 439 Waffle Houses in Georgia alone. So Waffle House, every 60-second, Waffle House employees across the nation serve up 341 strips of bacon. 341 strips of bacon every 60 seconds? That's crazy. So Waffle Houses they serve 145 waffles. It's crazy. But basically, I live next to a Waffle House, and I've never in my life eaten a Waffle House just because of I've heard nasty stories.
You don't
of
go
the food.
sober.
The judgment on their
No.
faces right
Yeah.
now. Look at these
So-
guys. They're-
I know.
There's a bunch of
Jason's
nasty-
visibly angry right now.
You don't go
Abs-
sober.
No,
You
and
go
I'm
Jason's
when-
angry.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're the
But when
cleanest
I'm s-
establishments. I'm
I
100%
the
telling you
only one that is similar is Steak and Shake.
No,
that I have.
lower
No,
than that.
yeah, if you want to wait
No.
20 hours
Lower
for your
than
burger.
that.
No.
Lower than that. But you know what? When the boys are buzzing, it's the move. Yeah.
It's 24 hours.
I went to the one that's in Fort Pierce, right?
glad you've been.
Between the Turnpike and I-95 where you get off, right? And
Yeah,
that's
Fort
how
Pierce.
you switch,
Fort
right?
Pierce, yeah,
Fort
yeah.
Pierce. So there's a Waffle House there. We were on the way to Gainesville, super high,
Go
on the way
Gators.
to Gainesville, and we were going up for Gator Graw or something. I don't know. We were
Smart
going to
man.
hit on your women. So we were on the way. We were high. We stop at Waffle House. We sit down, we order, and the moment we finished taking our order, the lady behind the register was arguing with a customer. The lady didn't want to pay the price on the ticket, and she just reaches over and snatches her wig off.
So why would I
And
want to go to this
all
place?
chaos
And that's
For
the
the
thing.
waffles.
all kinds of chaos. But I haven't had a better set of hash browns or eggs and waffles. It's
I'm
that
telling you,
good.
it's that good.
That good.
And he said it too, the waffle. Stories to tell your kids, man.
Yeah.
These stories only happen at Waffle
Hey,
House.
the moment the lady goes, "Thank you for your order," boom, the lady snatches the wig off the other lady, and it just all chaos ensues.
Listen, they're all strategically placed. Like
That's the other thing. Yeah.
they're there for a reason. No offense to the one that's across.
That's where we
from
had
the house.
our fantasy football.
But
championship
they're all
was,
there. They're all strategically placed. So
we
I
did
don't
the
think,
challenge.
I don't think there's not one in Miami. There isn't a Waffle.
Yes, there is.
There is.
Yeah.
There's got to
yeah.
be.
Yeah, there is.
All right. Did you hit the Waffle House in D.C. when you were
no,
all
I
suited up?
did not. I did
So
not.
yes, talk to us about CAD. How was that experience?
So it was good. I mean, not to get all high and mighty or political or whatever you say, but I think that's one of the things that is great about being in this country, right? Is doing stuff like that and going and going into
Actually-
Congress and meeting with people. Whether you meet with them face to face or you meet with their assistants or whatever, everybody hates to do jury duty, and everybody hates to pile on the presidential candidates we have and all that, but it's part of being here. So many people are not afforded those luxuries that
Not just that, most Americans don't even get to do what you did, right?
Right.
Most people
So-
being part of the
so-
democratic process is just voting.
yeah, so there was I think it was 12, maybe 13 of us, and we went
Andrea was there.
yeah, we had about 13. They split us up into two groups.
What was different about this from the normal CAD?
So I don't
this
know.
is their new CAD, right?
Okay, so normally when I went to CAD last year, it was a 2-day event. You spent the one whole day on Capitol Hill, running from appointment to appointment. You spoke on all 4 points. Dan, they split it up this year. Certain people talked to certain people, and they split them up into 2 groups. But here you were split up into groups by your states almost. So you would go visit people who were in your region, like I was with the Miami people or the Florida people. So, we got to go talk to people, me, Scott Blumenthal, Oscar Fernandez, and a few others. We got to talk to representatives for our state. And the day before, you do a little education and, they teach you on the talking points and what you should say, what you shouldn't say, and do all that. I guess they streamlined it for you guys a little more.
So it was about 13 of us. We had an hour briefing in the morning just to go over things. With Joe, I think the best part was they kind of let us fly. They said, okay, here's what it is, and they gave us the backstory. But from there, it was on us.
Well, that's the new way that they're calling it a fly-in. So they're doing 4 this year instead. So for those who are interested in participating in SAF CAD, every year it's only 1 time a year. This time it's 4, so you have different opportunities.
Yeah, so if this time of the year doesn't work for you, there'll be another one coming up, which is good. It'll give more people
and it also because Congress goes on recess and there's so many different things, and
they're always on recess apparently.
Well, let's keep it non-political, right?
Oh, I'm not. I'm just telling you what I was told.
I know. Well,
religion next.
Oh yeah.
So so we went in. We had 2 points. Our main points were about the duties, which is the GSP.
You said duty.
Duty.
And
yes, they need to approve that GSP.
Yeah.
Get her done.
The Farm Research Initiative.
That shit is cool.
Yes.
So those were our 2 talking points. The other group had a talking point also about the research initiative, but it was also about the Farm Bill and some of the insurance problems that we're having.
And all that, yeah.
Some of the insurance problems that we're having insuring farms in the United States. So our group focused on the GSP and focused on the research.
The farms need help with that insurance. I mean, look at the California farmers that got damaged, and or like there's a retailer that I follow online. Forgive me for not knowing your name, but I follow you online, and their whole shop got flooded. Everything got destroyed.
Oh, that was Poppies in California.
Yes, Poppies. So they almost lost everything. And insurance isn't the greatest when it coverage. I know here in Florida, they pretty much no insurance covers you on flood anymore. I mean, it is wild. And we get hurricanes. Shit's serious.
So, I mean, it is a problem. Obviously, there's certain rules pertaining to greenhouses and all that. I wasn't in that group, so we didn't talk a lot about it. But we had 6 meetings with different senators and Congress people from different districts, all that were related to where our group was from. So we went in, we had our 5-6 meetings, we talked about everything. I thought that it was generally well received. I got flipped because later on they were meeting with one of a second representative from Florida, and they wanted another Florida representative in that meeting. So I missed one that I heard was a little negative, but for the 5
that would have been interesting.
Yeah, I agree. But I think for the 5 that I sat in, it was generally well received. You can tell that there's definitely some competition between the different senators and Congress people that want to be at the forefront of what gets passed and what they want their name on it. They want it.
You think about those topics, the GSP, getting that passed, not paying those 8% duties on roses, which we sell roses, almost 10 to 1 to any other product of what we sell. What we can do with that money as a company and reinvest it into
it's
the
not
company,
just that.
or
it's not just that.
Be able to retain new employees.
It's all of it, right? So my points in those meetings were that most floral companies that I know are not billion-dollar corporations. They're all moms and pops. Mm-hmm. Our customers are moms and pops. And their customer is the end user. So everybody can use those savings of 6.7% on their flowers.
Exactly.
And we can use that, not just the 6.7 to pass along to our customers, but everything that's retroactively been collected for the last 3 years gets
Since
sent
it was-
back to the company.
Since it was approved, that's the crazy part. It's
Well,
been approved,
So
but it hasn't been passed.
Here's the way it works. It works that it's always been passed, but there's an expiration date. So right now it's been expired for 3 years. It's the longest period of time that has ever been expired. And there are there's a Florida congresswoman who, along with a Florida senator, opposite parties, bipartisan, that are trying to pass it through 2029 and retroactive. But the problem is that there's different parties are trying to attach different bills to it that are unrelated to it.
Like I remember 3 years ago, they attached it to the China bill or whatever that was.
What they're trying to attach it now is like a displacement bill that if your company loses employees due to AI and future, whatever, that the government will compensate the employee who lost their job. So if
I think that's pretty good.
That's kind of scary if you think about it.
So that's
Don't fuck up, Joel.
It's going to be impossible to cover all those jobs at a certain point.
Well, okay, whatever. The reality is that they have nothing to do with each other. Yeah. Is that the duties that are coming in on whatever, it doesn't affect the flowers. It affects some of the other products that are under the GSP. So that was one of the rejection points of the bill that is out there. The gentleman who we spoke to, who his boss is on the Ways and Means Committee, he's the head of it. He says that they're about to put something out themselves and that they've been working on it for the last few months, and they think that their bill is going to get passed. And but it's all up to it right now. Very candidly, everybody told us the only things getting passed are non-controversial.
Mm-hmm.
That
It's
everything.
election season, right?
It's not just that. It's that everything is so even right now, and people are so afraid to flip that's how they're voting.
Right.
Not to be political.
No,
but
it's just how it is.
That just fucking sucks.
It's just
that
how
we
it is.
can't get shit done because no one knows who's going to run the country and what way they got to go.
This is exactly why we have the citizens that we have that are so disinterested.
But this is why we go. This is why we went.
Right.
This is why we're trying to take advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah.
And this is why people should take advantage of this
and
opportunity.
kudos to SAF because they have a full-time lobbyist on staff. So
Joe
Joe is
man.
amazing
He's the
because
man.
if you think about it, all of these congressmen and all these people are approached by so many different industries, right?
Like 2 years ago, they got an extra $1 million for funded to get more education for the research and development. And they did this whole thing with drones, and the drones scan the fields and spray what only needs to be sprayed and stuff like that. So farmers aren't wasting chemicals that cost a boatload of money and spraying in areas that don't need it.
And they're not spraying unnecessarily, about the footprint, and they're not overusing water because they can do the same thing with irrigation, so you're not wasting water, and so that's where the farm
which is amazing.
Research is.
Can you believe?
Is they're trying
I
to
want my
develop
flying car.
They're trying to develop that, and apparently the money used to be there, but over time, since nobody was fighting for that money, they allocated it to other places. So now SAF. And I know AFIF has some projects too, that they're pushing to get that money back. And they've been chipping away at it. And it's something like $180 billion a year that's in that account. And they're trying to just get, I think they're trying to get it up to 7 million. So that's what they're trying to get is 7 million of 180 billion towards that.
It's a drop in the bucket.
Right.
Well, thank you for your service, Dan.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
I didn't go to war.
Thank you for repping.
Thank you for
repping
the front line.
not just Jet Fresh, but the flower industry. I think that we have, if you look at the list of the people that went and attended, it was a very well-rounded group.
Yes, it was.
We had florists, we had teleflora, you had
it was good.
You had
it was
growers.
great.
Yeah,
We were all from different areas.
It was FJ. There was a couple growers up there. It was good people.
Yeah, it was good. I would recommend it to anybody who's unsure. I think it's a good place to be, especially on the back end of the business. I don't know. For a salesperson, it may not be the ideal trip, but I think for people that are in management or people that are on the back end of the business that see the other side, I think it's a very valuable trip, and it's good to see that because
Did you feel like a little Bill on sitting on Capitol Hill?
God, That song.
Sing the
I
song.
can't-
I'm
I
just
know
a
the song.
bill.
You know it.
I'm
just
just
a bill.
sitting on Capitol Hill.
I was thinking of the guy from South Park. What's
You would
the
think
one
of the
that's
South
the one
Park
that's always
episode.
high? What's his name?
Towley.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking of.
I have a Towley towel.
Nice,
I have
Nice.
a Towley pop figure
nice.
on my desk.
But that's
Love it.
his brother. The Bill,
the Bill is
the Bill
his
and
brother?
Tally are brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Dan knows Tally. No.
Oh,
Yeah, I know
do people
that too.
know you're obviously Pockets' brother? Do you
Yes.
think the fans listening know that?
Oh,
Did we
so-
establish that?
we did not establish that. So, Dan Reilly is the older brother of single and ready to mingle Pockets Reilly.
I don't know, guys. Last night at book club, I was passing out Pocket's picture.
Do you just want to lose all your friends? How many friends stop talking to you after you've hooked them up? I think you're 0 for 2.
I'm
You
on
hooked
3
up-
for trying to get him to go out.
You
3.
know what they say, right?
What?
That he got the brains, but I got the looks and the brains.
No, you got the charm. You are very charismatic. That's for sure.
Oh, charismatic.
Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah, he's
But you guys look identical, so.
Jason's been trying to say
Thanks.
something for 15
It's
minutes.
just that candy cane hot dog sitting
Thank
on
you.
the end of the table is making me sick again just looking
Can
at
I
it.
tell you I still have that taste somewhere in my mouth?
That's all I keep looking at.
I keep drinking scotch.
Yeah, I know,
It's
I know.
terrible.
Yeah, so-
Terrible. Damn you, Andy. Commerce Drew.
So Mother's Day, huh?
Oh yes, we are, guys. Welcome to April. Right now, this episode is April.
April. Is this April 1st?
No.
April Fools.
No.
ha, ha.
No.
No,
This is the 30th?
Yeah,
Oh,
this
it's
would be
30th.
Easter, right before Easter weekend. Don't
Oh.
skip on Easter, yo. That shit's
Sorry.
serious. I hope you guys are ready for a crazy
Sorry.
week. It's Semana Santa.
Mm-hmm.
There's flowers needed.
That's Easter Bunny and Santa. I'm just
No.
Saints
Semana
week.
is weak. By the way, Jason, you know a lot of Spanish. How do you not know Semana?
Come on. I don't,
Ja-
I don't want anybody to know that I know
Jason
Spanish.
pretends
That's a
not
secret.
to know.
That's a secret.
Listen,
Until I'm completely fluent, nobody will know. You can't talk shit about me if you don't know that I speak Spanish.
Well, actually, you can talk shit about him. He'll just know what you're saying.
exactly.
There's a Seinfeld episode on that, but with Chinese, not.
Probably speak Chinese too.
But
Ni hao.
Mother's Day.
Ni hao, ma.
You say one word to me, you want to raise my blood pressure?
Yeah.
Mother's Day. But
Oh.
that's an excitement thing, not
Ooh.
a problem. But you talk about Mother's Day coming up and Valentine's and anything that's very, very busy. How do we handle that, right? How do our customers know?
What is this, an ad? What's happening right now?
say you're like an
I
infomercial.
love it. I love
Do
it.
you want flowers?
how
I feel like
do
we
you
went-
want to be trucked?
We went from
I'm
the
actually
hill.
gonna
Skipping a rock really well.
we were talking about this video.
We went from the hill to the soapbox. Get on it.
Listen,
Get
there's
on it,
nobody that
Jason.
can transition from story to story.
Well, we're gonna transit. We're just gonna
Perfect.
skip that
Go ahead.
transition. All
Do it
so
up.
We saw this video on TikTok.
Skipping a rock really well. Hell yeah.
Taking off the little plastic film on a screen when you first buy something.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
When you get the first line in the water on a fishing trip with your buddies.
Hell yeah.
Corn
So we're gonna.
No, you skipped over corn dog for lunch.
at school. Hell yeah.
Gross, gross. Who likes corn dogs? Gross.
I mean,
What is wrong?
What's wrong with you
Who
guys?
doesn't like
What?
corn
We
dogs?
like corn dogs.
When you see that in the line, you're like, oh.
Even the guy that hasn't gone to Waffle House is saying the
Oh,
corn dog thing.
gross.
Mimi, open the door so we can ask somebody for some
Mimi.
cornbread. We'll put it on here. You can have the cornbread candy cane.
Here you go.
Mimi, the fair is in town.
I know, but I love
there.
cornbread, but I don't. I love corn. I love everything about.
Do you
corn.
like hot
Chips.
dogs?
I love hot dogs, but I hate corn dogs.
What
Have
is
you had the
wrong with
Asian
Cornbread
ones?
dogs?
The
No.
Korean corn dogs?
Korean corn
No.
dogs.
Korean corn dogs
I'll
is
bring
where
one.
it's at. Do you
Yeah.
think they have those at the fair? I would
No,
love a
no,
Korean
no, no,
corn
no.
dog.
There's a place right next to the house.
The ones at the
You
fair,
know.
they get like covered in like flaming hot Cheetos
Yeah.
and stuff. They're
Yeah, that's
Okay,
weird.
so-
That's
Just
a
eat
little
the normal
intense.
one.
So go ahead, go back to your.
yes. So we're gonna do that for flowers. We're gonna
Okay.
try to at least. We'll see. how
I
that
sent a
goes.
couple good ones this
Do you
morning.
remember any of them?
I have them written down.
I sent two
That's
really
all.
good ones.
You don't have to. I'm not gonna read it. You could say
Oh,
it
okay.
now.
Well, the first
thought you
one
were
was
gonna say-
the first one was when you walk in and you see that Jason and Dan are running the warehouse.
Hell,
Hell yeah.
The second one was every time Pocket sees a woman walk in the office.
What does he say?
This is going to be a good one. There's so
When
many
your
things.
customer gives you 2 full weeks to get their special orders.
Hell yeah.
When you open your first box of Jeff Fresh Growers roses and see the candy packaging for yourself.
Hell yeah.
When your driver asks if the EDI went through clean.
Hell yeah.
Well, I thought of a rose one when you go to clean a bunch of roses and there's no thorns on it.
Hell yeah.
When they ask if you're going to have the booth at the next trade show.
Hell
yeah. No, when all the stuff is labeled and they're ready for you to go. Hell yeah.
Okay, right.
When you walk in on Latin Friday and Bad Bunny is on.
No.
Hard pass.
All right, listen.
So some of the ones I can think of would be the first Dutch peonies of the season.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
yeah, bro.
I thought it was going to
This is
keep
the hot
going.
dog. This is the hot dog man, Andy.
Oh, he's on our shit list.
Box of a new variety of rose from the farm.
Hell yeah.
When Baronia season starts.
Hell yeah.
Anytime VIP Roses introduces a new product.
Hell yeah.
That's a few that I could think of while I'm driving.
Texting and driving.
Hell no.
Oh wait, I gotta play one more thing. Sorry, hold on. I forgot it. Shit.
Fern,
Talk amongst
when you
yourselves.
see the Rive Alive on the bottom of those stems.
Hell yeah. That shit works.
The check that you promised me, okay? Send me the check. I'm not going to play games. I'm not going to go back and forth. No, you dared me to yell, and now I'm yelling. I want the check that you promised me. I'm tired of playing games. I'm tired of you going to other people.
Did you punch something?
No, that was
No,
me
that was
slamming
him
the
slamming
phone,
the phone down.
But it doesn't
Baxter.
transfer like.
So when Mike plays it on the loudspeaker,
It's one of
all
our
the
favorite
time,
Jeff
it's so
Fresh
fun.
moments. It's
So
one of our
I've had
favorite.
people come to me and be like, "Hey, I heard you on speakerphone with yelling at somebody," and I was like, "Yeah, well." Like they think it's like live going on now. They don't realize that it's getting played like once a month.
It's a classic
Over the
soundbite.
speakers.
Yeah.
The
It is
other-
a classic Jeff Fresh soundbite.
That
That
one-
Dan is so level-headed,
Yeah.
so
That's what
calm,
makes it
cool,
so
and
fun.
collective. I've never heard him yell at anybody
Well-
except for Pockets.
And I was
then that
listen.
lady.
I was calm for the first half of that
And
conversation.
she was giving it to him.
But
She
wait.
was really giving it to Dan.
when I first started at Jeff Fresh, it was so funny because everybody was like, "Oh, who's your favorite coworker so far?" And I would tell everybody Dan. They're like, "What?" I'm like, "He's so nice." They're like, "Wait till you have your
What do you
first
mean when you
encounter."
started? Is that no longer true?
No, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
no, you set yourself
Good
up
save,
on that
good
one.
save.
Good variance.
Yeah, I mean, I try to keep things cool. You know, I mean, I guess we all have a limit. And
We all have our bad days.
Did
No,
she
it
ever
wasn't-
send the check?
It wasn't a bad day.
Did she
wasn't a
send
bad
the
It wasn't a
check?
bad day. She lied, and I was calling her on her lie, and I was calm, and then
She thought she was gonna
kept
argue
pushing.
her way
Yeah,
out of it.
she kept pushing.
Don't poke the bear.
Did she send the check?
Yeah, we got paid.
Okay.
Yeah, we got paid. We never had that problem ever again with her. Go Dan.
The other one that Mike likes to send out is like when he wants to get something done. Remember when the coffee was broken? He sent out a video of Dan with the playing hockey, like taking people down and stuff. He's like, "Dan, get on it."
So as long as I can remember, I've always had two personalities. I've got on the ice and off the ice. It's as long as you can call my mom, she'll tell you the same thing. There's something about it that I have a switch that kind of gets flipped.
Do you have a switch too, Jason? On the ice?
No, but I did watch him headbutt somebody once.
What?
Yeah.
With a
Helmet,
helmet on?
helmet on or
Yeah,
off?
no, helmet
Teammate.
Helmet on. He's not a
It was a
psychopath.
teammate. It was a teammate.
On purpose?
Yeah, they were like bickering about something. I don't remember what happened. I mean, we were a good team, so we
You
really
gave him the good old
we didn't
headbutt?
He
really have any
was one of my
problems.
good friends.
We didn't have any problems. We were a good team, so I don't really remember what it was. But we got back to the bench, and the three of us were on a line together at the time, and they were arguing back and forth about something. He just slid on the bench and headbutted the guy at the same time like this. And I don't.
We still got McDonald's
Man.
after. Just cheese and
No,
cheese and
my
ketchup on the
son.
McChicken.
My son came back from the rec playing basketball the other day and casually told me, "Yeah, I got in a fight." And I'm like, "But what do you mean you got in a fight?" "Yeah, we were playing. I was making the threes here." And like he's trying to like hype himself up, and then he's like, "Yeah." And then I started saying bad words to him too, and we started back and forth and butting each other. And I'm
passion.
like, "Why?"
Yeah,
It's
that's
passion.
Yeah, it's
good and
passion.
bad.
Fights I've been in that.
You can't pick and choose when
Yeah, but I never thought
passion
that.
goes both ways. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It's no
Constructive.
different than we're here in the office, right? You know, when you're invested in something, sometimes
I don't know.
sometimes it hits you positively, sometimes it hits you negatively.
Can never get aggressive.
I don't know if it's a male thing, female thing.
It's a male thing. It's like the dogs, like right, like
constructive. I don't think so. It doesn't matter.
No, it's a personality thing.
Personality is the way to say it.
It's a personality thing. I mean, it's not everybody has that. And there's not. It's
not everybody's okay.
It's not a
with
positive or a
I
negative.
love how it's never a personal thing though. Here, it's never personal. You have a bad moment, you might get into it with somebody, and 5 minutes later, it's okay.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Right afterwards, this is the same kid when I picked him up. They were at the same standing outside waiting for their parents to pick him up. So I was like.
Constructive criticism.
What do you like about working in this industry, and what's the ugly too? The good and the bad.
I never thought I'd be here. You know, like this is not where I would have predicted that my life path would have gone. I would have never assumed or picked to come here naturally. You know, I like that it keeps you busy. I'm not somebody who can sit around all day. I would not be successful working from home. That's just not me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we never missed a day during COVID, and I don't mind that. You know, and
proud of that. I'm
fine with that. I need to be busy, so that's probably the best thing for me. I think that's also at times can be bad. You know, I've got my kids at home, and I can't promise them that I'm going to be home at a certain time. I can't promise you know, and there's a lot on my plate in general, but it's, you know, there's things that you miss because this is going to take the priority. But again, and when you're invested in things, that's something you got to do. I can't really think of many uglies. You know, I mean, I think it's just
well said. No, that's perfect.
You could actually say the answer you said for good could be ugly in a way because you have your 3 kids and you have your hockey and stuff.
I mean, it's all right. It's
a lot to handle.
It's all. Again, it's a personal thing too. Like I can't not be doing something. I have to be doing something, you know, and with that comes a lot of responsibility and
Spider-Man.
That's how it is. Yeah, right. But with that comes a lot, and you have to be available for people. And I've noticed that over the last couple of years, as have a family now and have those things, I've been less available to people, and I've had to learn to make the adjustment to being a little less available for people 24/7. Not that that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just a change that I've had to experience.
Well, you do need to. It's important to find a work-life balance, right? You know, I don't need to always be on vacation and always. I prefer to be working. I prefer to be here. You know, I love being busy. I love taking a trip in the middle of the week in a random last minute and, you know, going to earn a customer. That shit gives me a floater, you know, but you got to find some time for the family. And sometimes, you know, it's as tough as it is, you got to disconnect. Like when, you know, a lot of times when I leave here, I got to stop looking at the email, force myself to not read emails, you know,
this
and
industry,
spend some time with the family.
There's not a lot of work-life balance, but there is definitely an opportunity for work-life harmony. And, you know,
I like that.
You kind of have, and I that's not an original Mimi, but yeah.
Where'd you get that from? I like that person. No, I like that for real. Work-life harmony is really what we're trying to achieve, right?
There's no off season. No. You know, even when it's slow, it's a 7-day-a-week business.
When it's slow, you have to work harder.
You know, it's funny because when you start this industry, they tell you there's 2 major holidays. Everything else is whatever. But especially for us in marketing, like we have to prep for a lot of those holidays. So the 2 months before,
well, they don't tell you that there's no break between those 2 holidays.
Exactly.
It's all gas, no breaks.
But that's bull because I think everything is a floral holiday. You got Christmas, you've got Thanksgiving. There's always going to be a little rush somewhere.
I wish people would take more flowers for the 4th of July. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What about you, Jason? The good and the bad?
I think that the way you perceive everything, and the big thing for me is I don't want to think of this as a job. This is a career. You know, I wasn't the best in college. What I've been transitioning to recently is I love coaching. Dan knows it. It was a hobby of mine. I've been pretending that this job is a team. Mm-hmm. Soccer, hockey, basketball, whatever your favorite sport is. I've been pretending that that's what this is.
You kind of look like Ted Lasso.
So I don't have the mustache. So Mike said to me
now. I've seen you with that stash.
If a guy makes a bad pallet, do I let him slide? Do I not say anything? You know, Mike had told me if you're coaching and a guy is not doing good on the ice, he's sluggish, he's slow, he's letting guys go past him, are you going to let him come to the bench and you're not going to say anything to him? Or are you going to say something? Yeah, absolutely. I'd say something. Why wouldn't I do that here? Doesn't need to mean you don't need to reprimand the guy. When I was in college, I wanted to be a teacher. I love to help people. I love to teach. I love it. Not everybody's like that. But I looked at this job and I'm starting to turn it into, this is a team where we all have a common goal.
The things you teach people out there, hey, do your job the way you're supposed to. Make sure you build that palette
many
proper.
of these guys come from completely different. Nobody,
Everywhere.
But they can
Everywhere.
take everything. The work ethic and the do the things right can apply to everything.
I give
Think
them
Pat Reilly.
I give them irrelevant information sometimes, but
Pat
it's not
Reilly.
irrelevant. But
The Godfather.
there's so
This
many
is
things
Jason.
where guys look at me when I'm telling them certain things and they look at me like, well, why are you telling me this? And I was like, I'm telling you why, because there's an end result of if you don't do this and you don't do this, this is the result of what's going to happen. It's the same thing. Like, again, we're a team. The best sports teams out there that are communicating properly, that are working in sync, that are not segregated. All those things, like you want to talk about heat culture, Pat Reilly, whatever they got going on behind closed doors,
It's working.
there's something going on. But I want to have that same thing here. I'm here more than I'm with my family. I see these people day in and day out, and like he said, everybody loves a day off. But anytime I've had a day off, sick, or just a day off, I sit there alone, wondering what's going on at work. I'm getting emails coming in, and I get it. You don't want to look at your emails, but I got my notifications on.
No, turn them
I have
off
them
when
coming
you
in.
see your day off.
But I want to make sure that the team is working properly. I want to make sure everything's good. I hate coming in and people are upset, and I can't be the guy that can help everybody.
But this
at
time
once.
that you were off, you had somebody, and this is another thing I like about Jeff Fresh is that we help people promote within. And you had Yannizze. Yannizze was fucking kicking ass when you were out. And the fact that you had that trust, it's because he listens and learns from you. I mean, the guy, literally, I turned around and I was like, I went up there. I was like, hey, do you need anything? And when I turned the corner, he was straight on his people, telling him exactly, get this out here, get this. This truck comes at this time. Put this pallet there. And
But you know why? Because he's seen Jason do it.
Exactly. And
Because Jason's
that's what I'm
coached him
saying.
up and taught him the
But-
right way.
But everything that you're saying, the coach has to trust it too.
I don't want people to fear me. I want people to respect me.
Okay, yeah.
And that's it. Tony
Respect
Soprano.
is given, not earned.
So then for
Respect is earned, not given.
So
Sorry,
for
I'm-
Mother's Day,
Tomato.
for you, the most important is preparation. But why?
Absolutely. So like preparation, once again, when it comes to Valentine's, Mother's Day,
Prior planning prevents a piss poor performance.
segue into the next thing. But Mother's Day, stuff like that. Like we don't come in at 3 a.m. because we enjoy waking up at 2:30 to get here at 3. If we are behind, the entire company is behind. And again, constantly, as soon as 7 a.m. hits and everybody's walking up those stairs, phones are ringing, sales reps are asking for multiple things, drivers need direction, warehouse needs direction, boxes are coming in from Ecuador, Taiwan, Africa, all over the place. It is constantly stopping. Why do we come in at 3 a.m.? Because it is the quietest time that we can actually think without having problem after problem after problem, which we are great at doing the problems. We are great at solving problems. But we come in at that time because it's the quietest time. There's
But
no
if you had, but in a perfect Mother's Day, you would have prior planning, and the reason is because all these orders that people are putting in, like, I mean, nobody thinks about that. Like, I guarantee our listeners that are florists are out there are not thinking, oh, Jeff Fresh is opening at 3 a.m. during holidays. They don't know how much you have to know ahead of time. I mean, that's why you constantly are reminding sales about cutoff times, about certain things.
We're trying to be the best. And like I said, and with that,
Never want to be the biggest. Always want to be the best.
I think we set the bar high, and I think I want to keep it that high. I don't want it to go down. I don't like, Dan.
Hoorah.
I don't want early cutoffs. I don't want to have to tell people you can't sell. I don't want to tell anybody that. But that also helps with everybody else. I can come in and plan, but if everybody else is not on board with my planning and everybody else doesn't want to communicate, then the company is going to be unsuccessful and the company is going to fail together. But we're a team. So without them, there's no me and there's no Jeff Fresh.
It's a team. It's right. He's absolutely right. It's a team. We count on each other. Trust me, the sales team be counting on Jason. So, fellas, we got some questions for you.
Questions.
All right, so it's rapid fire questions. First answer that comes to your mind. Both of you shoot it off. Don't be shy. Go.
What's the best sandwich?
Ultimate at Publix.
Ooh.
A Reuben.
Mm-hmm.
Number one answer, right? The
Mhm.
Reuben?
What's your favorite flower?
Gerber Daisy.
Limonium.
Were you trying to think of something random, or do you actually like Limonia?
No, I just couldn't think of what it is. It'll take me a minute, but I know that there's some non-Limonium fans out there, so this is for them. Haters.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Flying.
I'd want to have a genie.
With unlimited wishes.
No, it doesn't need to be unlimited, but I'd be a little more strategic.
Is it just because you want to rub the lamp?
No, it's because I want to multiply my wishes.
I don't know if that's a superpower.
Why don't
that's
you?
Just like a dream.
Why do you need the
Fine, then.
genie? Why can't you just make the wishes?
Yeah, why don't you be the genie?
Do you want to be the wish
Because
giver?
then you got to live in that thing.
He kind of looks like a genie.
So
He kind of looks a little bit like a
I've
genie.
always seen Dan as like the
That's a
leprechaun.
nice-
so-
That's a DOD next
yeah,
time.
for sure.
all right, so I guess
Your wish has come true.
I don't know. I think that the ability to just like snap your fingers and be somewhere would be really cool.
Oh,
Teleport. Teleport.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Dragon Ball Z. Come on.
It's transmission.
Instant transmission. That's what it's called.
guess that
There's a word for it.
Oh,
Instant
sorry,
transmission.
My bad. Must have missed that episode.
What's the most overrated flower?
Lysianthus.
I
Your
wouldn't say it's
answer.
overrated, but I'd say it's overused. It's probably roses.
Oh. What's your most
Number one answer.
underrated flower?
Well, I don't know, but I'm saying like as somebody who like I said is relatively new in the flower world, I would have never thought to give something other than roses. And people that are non-flower people, that's what they gravitate to. When there probably are better options for them out
Actually,
there.
you know what? Underrated or overrated? Alstroemeria. I think that's the
Oh.
dumbest
Limonium?
thing. Dude, no, Alstro is... Everybody loves Alstro.
Sarah Campbell would purge you right now.
Or gladiolas. Mandy's always like, why don't you bring glads home? Like, it's the heaviest fucking box we got. Why do you want me to bring that shit home? No thanks. Chinese people
Carry
love
that
the red.
shit around the
They
warehouse.
love the red
That's what we
glads.
should have asked Dan, Dan and Jason about, like, what are the heaviest boxes? What are the crappiest boxes to ship and stuff? Yeah.
When is Warehouse Olympics happening?
Summer, I guess. We tried last summer.
Do the pallet
We
throw,
only got it through one.
pallet jack races.
Yeah, I wanted to build all the pallets up, like
Oh
one
my
more, like
gosh.
stairs, and have them race up.
Don't
on there.
let
You
me
never seen
be
these
in it.
videos of like these forklift competitions? Yeah, that's the other
That's
one.
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Gosh, those guys are
No
wild.
forklift
Yeah, we do.
competitions, please.
It's the new warehouse.
What's your go-to way to relax?
Take an edible.
We go away. We go to Disney often. You know, I think that's pretty
Dan's-
much-
Is that
Dan's a-
relaxing? Several
Dan's a
children in Disney?
Disney.
That's
But I'm sorry, though.
because they know the deal. They know the deal. They know like once you go through that gate, they know it's like, oh, I better behave or I'm not going.
I'm not getting that ice
Jokes
cream.
aside, though, is I love going to the beach early in the morning to watch the sunrise.
Such a romantic.
Fernando. He did a shimmy for those who can't see.
What's
That's
the
the
movie?
movie. Yeah, that was
a
a
Dougie.
yeah,
From
yeah,
the movie
yeah.
Blended. So romantic.
What was her name, Ginger? He's like, can you do it again?
We are blending.
Oh, he saw a movie.
I love that.
Joel.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, hey, I don't have anything to compare it to, but I love that one.
Good one, Joel.
Oh, wow.
What am I forgetting?
you
what kind
ever-
of flowers do you want at your funeral?
Anything but lilies.
You can ask
But
it.
that's all they use is lilies.
Yeah,
And
but
all
love
you
lilies.
smell. So every
Even
time
when I died, I want to smell them.
Funky Cole Medina.
That's what you want or don't want?
Oh, that's right. The question is what you don't want.
Have you ever asked someone for their autograph?
Yeah, multiple times.
Who?
I mean, growing up, like you see an
Who?
athlete or you see whoever, you ask them for their autograph.
Who?
Have you ever asked somebody for their autograph?
What are you, a fucking owl?
Yes, I did. I served.
I served Chad Pennington. He wrote his.
Spaghetti Arm Pennington?
Just so you know, Spaghetti Arm
Spaghetti.
Pennington ordered 6 sweet teas while he was there with the most southern accent. You ever heard him talk?
No.
Dude, that guy is from somewhere southern, but I gave him, I was his
That's
server.
how southern it is.
That's how
Y'all.
southern.
That's how
That's the
y'all.
comparison. I put it down.
Did he call you sir? Thank you, sir.
Spaghetti Arm?
Spaghetti Arm Pennington.
But I have him, sir. I asked for an autograph on the napkin.
Nice.
You still have it?
No.
Oh my god.
Depressing.
It's Chad Pennington.
I don't even know who Chad Pennington is, Mimi.
Yeah, no. What's the scariest animal?
Scariest by my thoughts.
Yeah.
Or
the guy behind you.
I fucking hate snakes and spiders, man. I know it's one animal,
Spiders
but
are,
spiders, God, I hate them.
They're aliens.
My wife.
My wife. Very
nice. My wife.
My wife.
This is my wife.
No, man.
Her
I don't
name
know.
is
You know
Jen.
what? I'll tell you what. It's not the scariest, but I have this feeling like every day I'm gonna walk out of my house and I'm gonna walk by the garbage cans and a raccoon's gonna jump out and like want to
I
attack
love
me.
raccoons.
Yeah,
They're so
go
cute.
pet
Trash
one then.
panda. The
They're
trash
cute.
pandas.
They're so cute.
They're
Yeah,
cutest
until they're
thing.
fucking have
They just killed
rabies.
my cat, so screw them.
Serious?
Yes, ripped my cat's organs out. The cat was
I'm
16.
sorry.
It was old. But
Wow,
they also
what a way
take
to
sh-
go.
they
Take
also
care of your cat.
they
Bring it
also
inside, bro.
There was an outdoor cat. He wanted to be outside. But also, they take shits in our pool. That's why I
Oh,
have
yes.
the snakes.
Yes, I know.
So
Oh,
raccoons
I hate the
used
ducks.
to be okay.
The ducks are the worst. They shit everywhere.
The Mojave ducks?
I don't know. The ones that are all
with
over
the red stuff all over their
Leave it
face.
to them
Mojave?
to change your question to what's the animal you hate
fucking hate
most.
those
The
things.
ones
I like
that
that. That's a better question, honestly.
the ones that don't need to swim apparently because I don't live really anywhere near water and,
so it's
and they
Mojave.
don't fly and all they do is walk around and
Waddle,
shit
waddle,
all
waddle,
over
waddle.
the sidewalk.
Oh
It's
my
the
God.
worst.
Next
Damn
question.
them.
You have another one?
What's your go-to drunk food?
Waffle House.
Or Taco Bell.
Taco
What's your Taco Bell order?
It depends what I'm
Depends
feeling.
on the
You got to
feeling.
get a quesadilla, but then do I like hit it with some cheesy gordita crunch,
Gordita
or do I
crunch.
hit it with the
what's the
steak
drink,
chalupas?
What's the drink?
Oh, always Baja,
Baja
Blast.
Blast. Everybody knows that. You know, if you don't get Baja Blast, you're messing up.
I may go there for lunch now. You guys got my mind on Taco Bell.
It's the healthiest of the
You
fast
could do an
food.
hour
Let
of
me tell
rapid
you,
questions.
it's not a joke. If you order like a bean burrito supreme, it's probably the healthiest thing in
Yeah.
fast food.
Yeah, if I go to
Protein,
Taco
brother.
Bell, I'm not
Protein.
getting a
The dog
bean
food?
anything. I'm not getting a bean anything at Taco Bell. I'm gonna get something fake meat related.
I like it. I like it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great episode of Two Fat Guys Talking Flowers, where we're always going to give you the good, the bad, the ugly, and the animal we don't like about flowers. I'm Fern here with Joel, Ryan, Mimi, Jason, Dan in the house. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.